There's a lot of stigma around the ways people think you earn success.
Oftentimes, the older generation has more opportunities to move forward before the younger generation even has a chance.
And people think that you have to follow certain steps to get there too, like go to college and such forth.
Today, we're going to take a deeper look into the successes of our youth. I'm Elise Genter.
And I'm Cameron Maksimowski. Let's dive in.
In our own community of Rockford, there's a lot of young entrepreneurs that can sometimes go unnoticed. Just like Oliver Filardo.
Yeah, Oliver, he just graduated high school and he started his own welding and manufacturing business.
At a young age, Oliver found this passion for welding, and now he's developed it into his own business.
Let's take a look.
I'm Oliver Filardo and I run OF Industries, so we do welding, fabrication, and machining. I started welding probably when I was about 10 years old. I've always worked on things, tinkered with things my whole life, and one of my neighbors was a field tech for UPS, and he taught me how to weld, and then I just kind of took that and ran with it. I just kind of did as much online research as possible to learn other processes of welding. Basically took one whole summer, and all I was doing is just practicing welding parts. When I was about 12, 13 years old, I started getting customers, and then I eventually filed for an LLC. So I'll do prototype designing for customers, I'll do small batch runs of parts, and then machining. I do a lot of prototype machining, so one-off or two-off operations, a lot of weld repair too. Pretty much the second I got out of school, I would get home, start working. Weekends, I'd work every day. While I was at school, I'd be emailing back and forth with customers, scheduling jobs, and writing up all my invoicing and sending all that out. First big job I did, I think I was 12 years old. I built ramps for pre-runner trucks to jump at the Deltaplex Arena. Age has definitely been a big thing. Welding and fabrication and machining, I mean, that's a business that's mainly dominated by people in their 50s and 60s. So coming into that, below the age of 20, I was definitely tricky. Basically, all I could do is just take care of the customer the best I can, because if you don't take care of your customer, someone else will. Whenever I get a project or something to repair, I just love doing it. I look at it like an art form almost. I mean, everything that leaves my hands or my shop, I want to be as perfect as possible. There really isn't a whole lot of other things I'd be doing rather than this. If you want to start a business, most of all your free time goes there. So just make sure it's something you're passionate about.
It's so cool to see Oliver turn something he loves to do into his own business.
Yeah, even in our own high school, some students have found ways to create their businesses out of their passions.
Mac Wormington, a Rockford High School student, was able to turn something he found interesting into a way to make money for himself.
In his own garage, Mac is able to wrap cars for people who want a more personalized look on their vehicles.
And it's cool to see how he balances this with his school life as well.
Let's take a look into Mac's work.
I've really only been doing it for about a year or so, but we've had a couple jobs.
After learning how to wrap cars at the age of 14, Mac is now 16 with his own business.
It's usually going to take around 2 weeks. Sometimes it can take a little longer depending on the car. Sometimes people just come in to get just their hood or their roof wrapped, just small things.
Take off some of these edges right here, because once we get down into sealing it and cutting it, it's a lot easier to push down into the crevices of the car.
It takes a lot of work and tools, but one main component is heat guns.
It's called post heating, and this gets out any scratches in the film and gets out any leftover air that's left over.
For a smoother process,
we use like a smaller box cutter to cut off the edges.
Although Mac receives many different requests, he has one that is the most popular.
It's like a carbon fiber look, but on vinyl. So we usually do hoods, a lot of hoods in that, a lot of roofs. Sometimes people do fenders.
If you are interested in contacting him, you can visit his Instagram.
I'm Gabby Johnson, and I'm here with Mac Wormington. Mac, can you tell us a little bit about how you started your business?
Yeah, so funny story. I actually one time was buying AirPods off of Facebook Marketplace, and there was this guy that had this sweet car, and I rolled up and I saw this cool car, and I was like, oh, oh, that's sweet. And we started talking a little bit about cars. I actually had just dropped my car off to get wrapped by someone else. And he was like, you know, I just bought this vinyl and I need someone to help me. Sounds really sketchy, but it was fine. But so I came over and we did it together. He didn't really know how, and I didn't either, so we just kind of went for it and learned. And it was kind of something that we were like, we could do this for other people. So we started doing it, and he got more into tinting as I went more for the wrap, the vinyl. And then he went off to do some more stuff with the dealership. So I kind of then started running it on my own. But then people would want stuff like carbon fiber, because carbon fiber's hot. And they just want color change to their vehicle, because painting is very expensive. So, and it's just an easy way that we can switch the entire color in their car without dropping the bank.
So you said you didn't know how to do it, like going into it. How did you and the other person like learn how to do it?
Yeah, so it was a lot of trial and error. I feel like I learned best through trial and error. So that was good to learn that way, but also a lot of videos, and they can only help so much, so just doing it was really the kicker, and getting good at it. And yeah, there was a lot of hours spent in my basement too, of just like applying vinyl on random things and trying to see how far can I stretch this, or before it fails, or just trial and error with things like, do I need primer, do I need to sand it, stuff like that.
And with that, how long have you had your business going?
It's probably been 2 years. I haven't been doing much of it lately, just been busy with some other stuff. But yeah, it's definitely something I do on the side, and whenever people want stuff, I can do it for them. So.
And how do you get your customers?
So it was a lot of marketing off Facebook Marketplace for a bit. They would usually take down my ad because they don't like promoting on there. But then I started to put up like ads in different stores and stuff like that, so people could call my number, and then it would just be word of mouth. People would just telling their friends about it and whatnot. So stuff like that. Also, car meets, people see my car. I usually customize it in that way so that it strikes up a conversation. So.
And then is there anything you want to say about starting your own business?
Yeah, so I'd say definitely have like get some starting money. It's tough to start a business when you kind of don't have any thing to invest into it. So I got a little bit lucky where he had the vinyl provided for me, but I would say have some money you can drop into that business and take that risk, really, just to maybe on like advertisements or training or anything, so that you can put out your best work when you actually start doing it for people.
Thanks, Gabby. It's amazing to see how Mac is able to balance his work life with his school life.
One of the things that Rockford offers its students is a class that focuses around the different aspects of a business.
Last year, Ms. Burkholder got the chance to create this class called Graphic Productions, which teaches these different aspects to her students.
Students learn about the finance, the marketing, and the productions of how to run a graphic design business. Let's take a look at this story.
Illustrator or Photoshop, and vice versa.
Starting this trimester, Mrs. Burkholder created a new class to focus on the workforce around graphic design.
Thought it would be such a cool opportunity for our students to be able to learn something that could be like a real life job for them. We have got like little different teams within the class broken down specifically to like what their assignment would be within a real job setting.
I'm the manager of the class, and I basically oversee everything.
What we do at the production team, we pre-treat the shirts before we put them in the printer.
I'm on the marketing team, and some of the things we do on the marketing team is we just produced a bunch of flyers that went around the school.
Not only are they working independently with their teams, but they're also kind of collaboratively working to make sure the workflow, the job from start to finish, goes seamlessly.
Over the course of a few weeks, they have already finished some projects and are looking forward to working on more.
We've already been able to do sweatshirts for the dance team that went to nationals. We just finished up the gymnastics states sweatshirts. We are going to be working on some Beyond the Rock sweatshirt designs. We're going to target our clubs and teams on campus.
This class provides many opportunities and experiences for students, and there's only one requirement.
Gotta have taken graphic design 1, because you gotta have some understanding of the software and like how the workflow is.
I would recommend this class to future students because there's something for everyone. It's just a lot of fun because everyone just gets to collaborate with each other.
This has been Cameron Maksimowski with Beyond the Rock, signing off.
Miss Burkholder does a really great job engaging her students to learn these different aspects.
And the tools they learned in that class can be transferred over into creating their own business.
Even students who don't get the opportunity to take this class, or students who don't even graduate high school, can create their business.
An example of this would be Trevor Lay. He dropped out of high school early to start his own lawn care business, and he has really flourished in this field.
Even though he didn't get a high school degree or even a college degree, he was able to become successful. Let's take a look into his story.
New Edge Lawn Care LLC is based in Rockford, Michigan. We service neighboring areas like Greenville, Cedar Springs, Plainfield, Forest Hills. On a weekly basis, our company is responsible for servicing about 125 accounts. During the wintertime, we snowplow and spread salt. When I was smaller and I was just starting out, I had people that were already in the industry, and they showed me how to price jobs, how to do the work, how to network, meet new people. It's kind of unusual for a 16, 17, 18-year-old kid to be proposing, $20,000 landscape installs for a commercial client. Really, age doesn't matter. It's all about reputation and what your character's like, how you present yourself, the type of employees you have, and how eager you are. When I first told my parents that I was going to be dropping out, my mom, she was really saddened by it because she really wanted me to finish high school, but my dad, he supported me in the fact that he knew that I'm not dropping out of high school to, go party, go hang out with friends and not do anything. I'm dropping out of high school so that I can be running my business full time. My mom and dad both saw that, me choosing not to finish high school was one of the best decisions I ever made. It may work for you to go to college. I'm here to say that it worked for me to not finish high school. My advice to other people that are trying to start a business, especially as a younger person, don't listen to the people that say that you can't do it. A lot of people will say that just because they can't ever picture themselves doing it.
These inspiring stories really show how the younger generation can be successful just like the older generation.
All of these young entrepreneurs have found a way to create a positive impact in our community.
And they all built their businesses in such a unique way as well. Once again, I'm Cameron Maksimowski.
And I'm Elise Genter. Thank you for joining us on the successes of our youth.